Hello, everyone. This is Ilya, co-founder of Near Protocol, and today I would want to introduce building composable decentralized frontends using blockchain operating system. So Near started as a layer one, really focusing on how to make it simple, secure, and scalable blockchain to really kind of bring Web3 to mass market. And we are set out on this journey to bring 1 billion users to Web3. And kind of since 2019, been building and kind of expanding this ecosystem. In 2020, mainnet went live, and kind of the ecosystem started to grow exponentially. And a lot of the original efforts focused on building out developer platform, right? Building all the tools that developers need to really bring Web3 applications. And kind of throughout last year, as we talked with developers across the world and across Web3 ecosystem, we realized that there's, even with all the tooling available, developers still struggle to onboard users and engage them. And kind of within that, we been kind of expanding the vision, right, beyond just blockchain into this idea of blockchain operating system. So blockchain operating system is really a common layer for browsing, discovery, open web experiences. And it is compatible with any blockchain. It's really this new way of kind of organizing applications and experiences in such a way that anybody, anywhere can use them. It's fully open, and at the same time, it allows to create this kind of engagement loops. So what problems is this solving? Well, the Web2 problems, right, that we are familiar with, it's lack of data ownership, data privacy, issues with retention across applications, and as well as fragility around applications and self front ends. Now we have new Web3 problems, right? Again, talking with developers, we have fragmentation due to kind of lots of different sub ecosystems, multi-chain, as well as different applications kind of fitting in different parts of the broader user journey, but being extremely separated. Discoverability, right? Like as a user, I just signed up, I created a wallet, I have no idea what can I use, what are the applications, what's legit, what works. And finally, if you do talk with developers who have users, right, their challenge is engagement. They don't have a way to re-engage these users to bring them back to their platform. Obviously, onboarding is one of the biggest issues in Web3, but also have common kind of intersection with Web2, distribution, compliance, complexity of building and maintenance, especially when you have lots of different platforms, lots of different surface forms. So all of this is trying kind of bring together in this new blockchain operating system approach. So how does it structure? Well, at the bottom, we have our blockchains, right? So, if we compare this to a traditional operating systems, think of blockchains as hardware, and you have a lot of drivers, right? It's pretty much adapters for the blockchain in this case, to abstract out from a developer needing to deal with low-level kind of implementation details and really focus on their application. And so that's what we bring with this middleware data platform, kind of aggregation and tooling. It's everything from data access, right, RPCs and indexers, streaming data, notifications and search, kind of making sure there's an index of all the data from the blockchains, as well as services which allow to kind of push things the other way, right? Meta transaction layers allowing to pay transaction fees on the user's behalf and things like that. Bridges as well go into this. So that's the middle layer that really powers kind of abstracting out complexities of blockchain, and at the same time allowing developers build extremely way easier. Now, the new layer we introduced is called discovery. And this is the layer which really brings together kind of the idea, what smart contracts did to web services, right? They made them autonomous, they made them kind of decentralized and fragile, living on a blockchain allowed them to be very composable. So similarly, we're doing this for front-end components, right? We're making them living on blockchain, extremely composable. You can always relate to an older version if you need to. You have kind of the ownership and traceability of kind of, this can be any cryptographic account, be that individual DAO or a smart contract. And so you can actually have kind of this very decentralized and composable set of front ends. And I'll show you how it all works. And so all of these services, right, then can be packaged into any of the entry points, right? We call them gateways. So this is, conceptually, when we talk about Web2 platforms like Facebook or WeChat, they are only accessible through one place, right? You go to facebook.com, you install the WeChat app, and that's where the whole platform lives. What we have here is really open platform that you can install in any other location, right? It can be on near the door, it can be inside your browser, it can be inside the app, it can be inside the wallet. And again, I'll show you how this looks. And so kind of all together, you can think of this like open WeChat platform, with mini apps, with all the payments, with all the social, with all the interactions really packaged in as a platform. And then you can build and kind of integrate into any existing app or platform this experience. So kind of one of the things, the challenge has been with Web3 is when you build in decentralized way, you kind of lose distribution. And what we're trying to do here is turn this around and really leverage decentralization to increase distribution for developers and users, and like for users to find this. So for developers, really this blockchain operating system provides a faster way to build, right? You have everything from, thousands of front-end components you can fork. You have, thousands of smart contracts you can leverage. You have inbuilt distribution through social and through kind of easy onboarding, and you have kind of no hosting needs, no kind of front and back end maintenance, like all of that comes together. For enterprises, this is kind of the easiest way to go from Web2 to Web3, right? It's like you can integrate, kind of install this blockchain operating system inside your existing app and pretty much design the experience around that. And you don't need to maintain and develop all this. All the components and kind of smart contracts are developed and maintained by the respective teams. And at the same time, it works with different chains. Finally, for the user, right, it's you own the assets, you own the data, you can participate in any kind of everything from social to financial interactions, and you have all this things coming together with like you can discover apps and discover experiences. And the main point is this is all live, right? So we kind of, it's not Web3 promised, it's Web3 delivered. So just to kind of showcase, it starts with, user journey starts with onboarding. And so we launched Fast Auth, which is the fastest onboarding on the web. It leverages cryptography on the phone inside Secure Enclave. You use Face ID, fingerprint, or PIN code to set it up. There's an email recovery with MPC, and you can then transition to other recovery methods. And what this allows to do is really get the user on board and start interacting with applications. There's meta-transaction layer also embedded there, so you can use different applications without having any fees, right? So 5 seconds usually, and user is onboarded and is able to interact with blockchain. No seed phrases, no 0x things, no blockchain terminology. So let's dive in a little bit how this looks, right? So if you just log in, you'll see kind of the social. So this is on Near the Door, one of the gateways, kind of featured gateway. So Near the Door runs from the blockchain. Everything you see is coming from blockchain, including the front end itself, the content, the social feed, the people, the apps. All of this is stored in blockchain. And kind of here, a few things. So you have obviously the social, which a lot kind of right now about Near ecosystem, as well as developers and kind of developing community there. You have set of applications and kind of news that are coming out. And so if you go to, for example, applications, you can see everything from tickets, for example, for the conference, to chat, to DeFi, to for example, Ethereum apps, to news, to NFTs, to kind of social developer interactions. So everything is kind of really here, and you can search and filter by different things, right? And so the interesting thing is, at anything you look at, you can go to develop, and you can look at the implementation itself of this front end, right? So we looked at this components page, and so you can actually see the implementation. This itself is stored on blockchain. So if you go to history, you can see the change history of this component. And this is block number on Near protocol that actually stores it. And you can have discussion around this component and kind of interact with it. And so you can actually post here, and first time you're posting, it actually asks you to kind of confirm that you want to send this transaction. And so this allows to actually have a very active interaction with the application itself. So this just posted on blockchain and came back already in my front end, kind of fully on chain. You can always fork it. So for developers or even like super users who want to kind of explore how to customize and make it more your own. And in this mode, you can kind of see this application. You can see kind of how it renders. You can modify it. You can save a version. You can publish it and kind of really explore what you want to do with it. And this is especially true about, for example, your homepage, right, where you potentially want to change how the homepage looks and customize that and kind of allow that. So all of this is powered with that stack. I mentioned that it works with other blockchains. So already all the EVMs are supported. So for example, there's Lido, which is Ethereum liquid staking, as well runs here. Again, you can go and look at how it's implemented. And so the kind of important part, the way it works is in the URL itself, you actually specifying which component to render, and it gets pulled up to the front end and renders, right? And again, this part is discovery, the front ends. You have search, notifications, and other things coming, as well as kind of other pieces of the ecosystem powering this, right? RPCs and indexers behind the scene. Now, I mentioned this can be anywhere. So this is, for example, another gateway called boss.gg. It runs with a little bit different design, but runs exactly the same code. And it's just a Buddha code that loads these components from the blockchain. So this is, for example, ZK sync swap example. But you can also go and open exactly the same Lido component and see exactly the same thing, right? So this is like pretty much showcasing that you can render this app in any of the surfaces that you create, right? This can be as well inside, directly inside some mobile app, or even replacing the browser to browse this. So kind of very rich experience, allows to kind of really build across different blockchains. And there's a lot more tooling and experience is coming to really power this. And so just to showcase what's possible, right? Imagine we have a hacker called Idris who wants to build a fitness app. And so they start kind of, they have 4 steps. First, they try to test the hypothesis of what they want to build, right? And they focus really on kind of the fastest speed of learning and building. And they found out all the different, pieces and components that already exist, and they kind of customize them with design and put together into their own app, right? And so with that, they find Mint-based, they find kind of NFT minting kind of UI, they customize it, boom, you can have like an NFT minter for your own app. And so really allows to fast prototype, you're at the hackathon, boom, you can do this really quickly. Throw the front ends. We just had this happening at eSol, eSprag, kind of across the globe. People are trying this out and actually able to really quickly build something at the hackathons. Then, because Near comes with FastOS, with kind of this already interactive discussions, etc., with the social feed, you can start onboarding your users right away. Like they don't need to kind of re-log in somewhere, find your app. You can post it on social feed. Everybody who's already there finds it. You can also share so-called key poems, which are links, marketing links, or links that designed to onboard new users. They can also come in with NFT. They can come in with specific set of actions. You can limit what they can use, what this account can be used for initially. And so all that allows to also onboard new users really quickly. You can do it through, if you have an email newsletter or any other campaign. Again, they can really quickly sign up through FastOS. Boom, they have their original badge, and then you kind of interact with them. People can find through search, through kind of other interactions. And so really kind of creating this discovering and user acquisition channels. And it's all, you can pay for the user's gas fees through meta transactions. All of that comes embedded, kind of already pre-built. And you don't really need to think about any of that as you kind of onboarding first users. Finally, the retention, right? I mentioned the re-engagement is kind of a critical issue in blockchain. And the core part here that, as you can leverage all the social interactions and you have all of the social feed and social profiles, everything already kind of as just components and APIs. And notifications, right? So we're adding mobile web notifications, so you can push notifications from your mobile web, and really allowing to interact and kind of update your users with what's going on. And users still in control; they can always disable it and kind of control how and when they want to see this. Finally, you can deploy this as your own gateway, so you can pull kind of what right now is a component inside near.org into a new website, right? So, for example, you have ifit.app, and so you pull it up. It's vice versa, it's 5 minutes to kind of spin it up. So increase retention, foster community, ways to re-engage through notifications. Also, we just launched Galaxy Quests, which you can also use to onboard new users and engage them. And you have this full customizability. You can actually have even this all hosted through ENS and throw the actual Buddha code on IPFS and still have all the components being loaded and kind of continue updating without needing to update IPFS part, only when the VM is changing. So finally, you want to grow, right? So you have kind of going multi-chain and kind of creating cross collabs with other NFTs and applications, expanding to other experiences and new geographies, right? So example, there's already fans of football, and they have like Sorare NFTs. You can actually cross-link with them. We're launching support with logging in with MetaMask directly. You can also kind of create like also attach MetaMask to existing Near account, and so you can start interacting with like other assets you have, and the app can actually like build around that. Obviously, you can collab with existing platforms like Sweatcoin, for example, for fitness. Sweatcoin is a very good match because people who like have Sweatcoin, there's like 120 million installs, are interested in fitness, and so you can actually promote them. There is also now one-click connect, which allows to open app directly already logged in, so you don't need to kind of open app, log in again, come back, sign transactions. So all of that is also simplified. So really creates this kind of smooth experience and onboarding and kind of marketing channel that you can leverage. And finally, because all of this is components, you can just fork them and translate the text to make it localized, and kind of really maintain some of these versions at a way cheaper price than currently you would need to if you want to have localization. And the community can contribute to it as well through pull requests by translating things. So works with any chain, expand to any community. We also working on remote accounts to kind of create a way more unified experience across different chains. Extend to any experience, right? You can embed this into existing apps. You can embed it into mobile apps and websites, and reuse a lot of this as you kind of working and modifying things on the front end side. Finally, kind of the way we call all of this is this idea of community commerce, right? You're going from hypothesis about the app to market expansion to truly going global, and you can do all of this in one place. You have the digital value created, you have all the social interactions, and you have customer participation kind of all in one place, right? And again, focus is now that infrastructure is here is really now on building businesses that are bringing value to the individuals and other consumers as well as other businesses, and really creating this economy inside the Web3. So just to mention one more thing, we have one of the apps on Boss. It's called Near Horizon. It's a Web3 startup kind of accelerator platform, contribution platform, which allows startups to join and kind of explore what is the assets and partners, as well as the VCs, there are vendors who can help build your startup. So try it out. It's near.org/horizon or go into solutions. So in conclusion, right, what I just introduced you is how to build this kind of highly composable experiences, not just on the back end on smart contract side, but now on the front end side, leveraging a lot of the middleware. And so Near started as a blockchain, right? I mentioned like really focused on simplicity, security, and scalability. And we have all that, but we realized that the problem of Web3 is much larger than that. And so we've kind of expanded as an ecosystem to really focus on all the all of the challenges that the Web3 has. And this is data platform, Web3 identity, developer tooling, multi-chain observability, social and composable front ends. Now, all of this is powered by Near protocol, by the blockchain itself. All of the front ends are stored there. All of the interactions are going through this. A lot of the remote accounts and other underlying mechanics is facilitated by it. And so like Near protocol serves as a kernel of this operating system, really driving it and enabling it, and kind of, because it has low latency, because it's scalable and able to handle billion users, because of flexible account model, can onboard users, native meta transactions, all of these parts. But kind of Near itself now is expanding beyond just this protocol, but also including all of these pieces. And so this is what we're really calling blockchain operating system. So try it out, Near.org sign up for the FastOS and the Near.org kind of featured gateway, and kind of go from there. So thank you. Thanks for inviting me here, and hope to see you all at some point.